with a little bit different topic. I will invite to the stage our colleague, Mr. Sandeep Srivastava, Managing Director of ENCY Software India. And Sandeep will share his experience in international business and will talk about how corporate culture influences different approaches in CAD/CAM business across countries. So welcome, Sandeep Srivastava.
Good afternoon, everyone. Lunch is on the way. I'm standing between the lunch, I know that. So, how is it going? So, our topic right now, we are discussing about Formula One. So, anybody can tell who is the Formula One driver champion for 2025? Come on, guys, it's a Formula One CAD/CAM. The Italian guy, the Italian driver. Come on. Landa Norris. So, a kind of a different topic, what we have been seeing right now. So let's start. Well, my introduction, a lot of guys who do not know me, it's second year out here in the conference for me. And I have worked with various leading global companies, Dassault Systèmes, Siemens, Hexagon, and I have also created companies across India and Asia Pacific with them. So what do we see? Corporate culture means we know that Europe is kind of a huge number of countries out here. So if you talk about, say, in India also, in India right now, if you look at, we are having 30 states. And we have 22 official languages. So it's kind of a Europe, actually, for us, if we talk about. Yes, English is one language where we can really communicate with everyone. But here I'm talking about the global unification and how the corporate culture differs and how it helps the CAD/CAM industry per se. So what is corporate culture, if you look at? So these are basically the shared value, communication between the peers that we see today. And across the continents, it differs from every country to country. And as a company, when you become a global company, that how this corporate culture will help the tradition which is followed by the countries, and it can enhance your business into it. So just to start with, my own continent, Asia. So if you look at, I am just giving you 3 basic huge countries into manufacturing and CAD/CAM. Talking about my country, India, particularly it's hugely relational focus. So a lot of people, even within the corporate, they focus a lot that what kind of a relation we carry within the industry and the cultures today. The mindset is very much entrepreneurial right now. Means if you look at our setup in India, there are 5 million engineers coming out every year. 5 million engineers. So you can just say, yes, we say we are an entrepreneurial setup. And it's kind of a culture, a family culture, which we incorporate in India, which we really believe in it. And so if you treat your customer as a family, you definitely going to enhance your business. Talking about Japan, where I have worked a lot within Japan for Hexagon Corporation. So what do we see in Japan? So a basic knowledge which I can share with Japan. Why the loyalty? Do you know there are almost 20 plus companies in Japan which has been established 500 years ago and still going on. 500 companies, corporate companies, which has been established almost 500 years back, but still continuing. So that's why I call it loyalty is a huge setup within Japan. And if you work with them for decades, ages, you will just build on relation with them. So it's very difficult for anyone if you want to create a channel partner or if you want to enhance your channel, it becomes very difficult in Japan. And if you stick to it, definitely you will get a lot of ROI, which we say in business. Talking about China, manufacturing capital of the world, a lot of friends from China out here, our CAD/CAM friends. So what is there? So if you look at, it always gives you space for CAD/CAM industry. Even if you are new, they always talk to you. They want to learn new things, and they are very fast. You know that means today, whether you talk about Europe, Americas, or any other countries, China is one country which has built the manufacturing world into a different setup. And if you look at the CAD/CAM business, it's growing phenomenally. So what kind of a culture they have? They have a pretty strong relation. Execution is very fast paced. So you really need to have a very good setup on support in China. Just a few pictures about means my team out here. You can check Hurko, a renowned company within CNC machines. And on the left-hand side of yours, you can see one of the integrator who just established a new office in Pune in India. And then on my right-hand side, you can see he's the Fanuc Robo head for India. So we collaborate pretty equally with most of the OEM within CNC and Robo in India. So that's why we have placed Fanuc, Hurko, and our technology partner plus. We also have dealers out here. So I also want to welcome first time Indian reseller into our conference, TechSoft and Mahajan Automation. Thank you for coming out here. So what is the perspective which I told you about CAD/CAM in India is that industry is actively looking for perpetual and dongle license still. Yes, a lot of people still in India ask for dongle licenses. So that is one area we have seen a lot of competition who has gone out of offline out. They are giving entire licenses set up into online. But still, if you have dongle, which we have today, so we are able to sell that licenses pretty easily. So that is where you can say 2-3% of the people within CAD/CAM industry in India, where we can definitely reach and we are able to do. The technical guys, you can talk to our technical guys out here, means my colleague Abhay, and you will get to know how the Indians really treat the customer to the POCs, how much POCs we have to do. It's really hell of a time to support the Indian technical guys. And good part is that once the customer becomes yours, they are the greatest reference for you. And you can get number of your customer within days, weeks, months, and year. Like say, like we are talking about Strawberry and CNC Solution, 15 years that they have given dedicated into industry. If you look at in India, even if you do a good job with 10, 15 customers within a year, I can tell you it can double every year. Talking about Japan, as I said, I have visited Japan many a times with my earlier companies. So what is out there? So they prefer perpetual licenses today. Yeah, they do not go for the dongle license, but they prefer perpetual licenses. So that's why, like say, a lot of companies like Autodesk, for many years back, they have gone out of perpetuality. So we see that because you have gone out of perpetuality, even in Japan or in China or even in India, the licenses on manufacturing is going down within Autodesk. And various companies, those who are still giving perpetual licenses, it's climbing the business out there. A strong reference for hierarchy and seniority. So people, means you can see in Japan, whenever you go, means this is the way they usually bow down to the senior. And it's a tradition out there that you give respect this way. Companies focus on various, they take a lot of time on training as well as on support. Then coming to the next country in Asia, that is China. As I said, it's a manufacturing capital of the world. Lot of anything, you talk about anything and they manufacture today. And I was talking to my friend from Germany yesterday, and he was saying, yes, these are the guys in next 2-3 years, they see you in the exhibition and then they replicate you, actually. So workplace typically are value, means hierarchical out there, but they respect the leaders a lot out there. Coming to North America, the largest country, USA, on manufacturing, and it is a tradition on, if we talk about the business, which we learn a lot from USA. So we have friend from Mexico also out here. What we see in USA, so we see innovation-driven country, individual achievement, and it's a direct communication. So they do not really, they work on direct communication in USA, and that is the way, means if you look at Canada, that is the way they do it. And Mexico, again, I see a lot of kind of a cultural relation with India, so they are family oriented and all. Just to give you a highlight about USA on CAD/CAM business, how it is evolving now. So we have seen a lot, like say dongle, from there to online, offline. Now we see a lot of business which is also getting into SaaS or subscription based. So a lot of companies across the globe, if they are working with USA, they are getting into SaaS licenses or subscription-based licenses. So that's why when Autodesk also started almost 17, 18 years back, the same system of subscription. And you will find a lot of companies across CAD/CAM industry also now focusing with USA on SaaS business. A lot of emphasis on training. Definitely training is one thing where a lot of countries also emphasize on it. And I have seen particularly in SolidWorks, actually, or in my earlier times, that if you look at, they have created a lot of user groups out there technically. And if you look at almost every week somewhere in USA, they have some user conferences going on. So this is one area where it develops a lot of business for CAD/CAM. So I always urge, means how even ENCY, we can create a user group not only in USA, but yourself in Europe or in India or in China. That will create a lot of business for you. Talking about Europe out here. So what is there? Germany, we have always known very punctual, very precise kind of a technology that they have given to the world right now, and it has been going on for 100 years. When we talk about automotive, definitely the first name which comes is Germany, at least. France, I worked with France company like Dassault Systèmes, so it's particularly very centralized decision-making, intellectual debate. But you see a lot of companies from France which are become very large, like say competing to Boeing, like Airbus, and many more. UK, very pragmatic and diplomatic, so approach for them, basically. But we have seen within CAD/CAM industry, if you look at within Europe, we see a lot of reference selling as well as the sales on the licenses happening on subscription also right now, as well as online licenses. If you talk about Africa, so this is one continent. Definitely, I think the next decade will be of Africa because we have seen a lot of growth within Asia, and now people are getting into Africa. Because if you look at few countries out there which are industrialized or trying to become industrialized, they will be definitely moving into a lot of CAD/CAM. And so this is the right time for any company, those who wants to start doing business. I think Africa is one area where we really need to look at. So they have a lot of importance on relation building, adaptability, growing the entrepreneurial business. If talking about my own company out here, ENCY Software, so we are present in now 5 countries and increasing every year or so. It's a small company, so what happens when you are working with corporate culture, basically to adopt it becomes easy for a smaller company. And I think with the larger or the big company, if you look at, they're also evolving how to really cope up with the culture. These are the key cultural dimension, which as an HR perspective, I say that what they look at hierarchy, equality, individualism, direct and indirect communication, which really happens with the large company. Definitely, we are lucky enough within ENCY, that's a small company, it evolves, it grows. You can take this definitely approach how to work in this industry. Challenges when you talk about global team, basically today is one is miscommunication, because my culture in India would be different in France definitely how they speak, how they talk, how they carry. So there are a lot of things which we learn when we start communicating more. There are different expectations within the country. If you talk about, say, India to Singapore, it's different. India is a developing country. Singapore, within same 3-4 hours, it's a developed country, but definite tradition plays a different role. If you talk about Korea, Korea again is a developed country. Their frequency or approach to the industry for the CAD CAM or anything would be different. What are the best practices for global businesses that we look at? So encourage cross-cultural training, which I have learned from various companies which I have worked with. Promote inclusive leadership. So definitely we should look at giving the leadership approach to people who can really take to the next level and adopt communication styles. So I think what I want to say through this presentation is that as a global company or as a CAD CAM business, what we are looking at, just I highlighted few points. I think these are the things even your customers out there, within your country, if you want to go to a different country, how it really evolves or makes your business more profitable. Just to conclude, I think these are the pointers which I wanted to highlight during my presentation, is that cultural varies across the country, across the continent. We really need to look at that how our business can evolve or can grow with the tradition and the culture, because culture has been there for thousands of years. It cannot change very rapidly. We need to really adopt what they are looking at, seeing at, and doing it. So global collaboration requires empathy, awareness, and flexibility from everyone. It's from both the end, but definitely when you are working within that country, your adaptability should be suitable to their nature of work. Thank you.